Alrighty, let's start recording. So, the dwarven capital of Doonhollow has come under attack after the Trial of Steel by a large force of deep dwarves, cousins to their closer to the surface dwelling brethren. The force wasn't large enough to be considered a full-scale invasion, and it seems they had one goal: use their newly acquired rockworm mounts to cause shock or panic, chaos and terror in order to abscond with the High King, R'tor Yornmire, amidst the pandemonium. However, you successfully rescued the king from their grasp and fled the arena with him in an epic cart chase through the city streets. With some successful illusions from Zerth, you fooled them into falling behind and eventually found your way to the Hunter's Keep, where you met up with Liska, Magna and Hrathgar, defeated an attack on the keep, and then held up within, aiming to wait out the siege. With Magna and Liska out on patrol outside of the keep, and Hrathgar leaving to aid the rest of the hunters with the attacks out in the city, Arngrim prepared a grand feast in the mess hall for everyone to take their minds off the current attack. And you all had some semblance of a heart-to-heart talk. It was eventually revealed that the Mountain King's daughter, Tora Yornmire, the Mountain Princess, had been led a small expedition of Mountain Guard into the Crystal Fen mines some months ago, when the attacks began. Attacks that you first heard about when entering the Citadel, likely in order to put a stop to them herself. It was also revealed that 8 years ago, R'tor and his wife and queen, Gladria, were poisoned with a soul-severing tonic at the 100th anniversary of Clan Yornmire's rule. Tora, being a young but powerful healer, was forced to make the decision of which parent to resurrect. Now, the organised attack on the Citadel has the king second-guessing her safety. Balthazar offered to aid the king in this matter at some point, which the king agreed. A heart-to-heart talk between Sayun and Arngrim was also had, discussing certain feelings for each other that may have been overlooked in the past. It was decided that their roads were likely destined to cross frequently, but never join into one. However, as a show of good faith, Arngrim took back his shield emblazoned with the crest of his clan and family and turned it into a set of powerful ammunition for Sayun to make use of as she pleases. You all bedded down for the night and awoke the next morning in the presence of Captain Brasheim, who informed you all that the good news was the attack had been driven back. The bad news was that they'd captured and taken hold of the Hall of Kings, the room just beyond the throne room, of which they were attempting to gain entry into. If they'd taken hold of the throne room, then they'd be able to hold up there until backup arrived. Under the command of General Thargrin, the Mountain Guard were holding them back from the throne room, preventing them from breaching the weakened door, or rather the weakening door, while the captain's remaining Iron Guard were busy attempting to breach the gate into the Hall of Kings. A two-way breaching, so it were. The Balthazar proposed a pincer maneuver, after which the king revealed the presence of a secret escape route from the throne room, the August Tower, for easy access to something called the Nexus. Siren mentioned a spell called Passwall, a powerful spell often used in sieges to turn the tides. A reconnaissance crew was tasked with searching the tower for such a spell scroll, while the Black Hand would venture through the tunnel and reinforce the Mountain Guard's ranks. The Black Hand received the King's Crown, which functioned as a key to unlock the secret door, and eventually found their way through the tunnel and into the King's chambers, discovering the King's personal armoury. We now find Grunker running through the streets of Doonhollow, as it's on the verge of recovering from a siege, with a bundle of armour and gear slung on his back, across the rest, alongside the rest of his stuff.
Very valuable stuff.
Very valuable stuff. Okay, let me bring us back in.
Hopefully the map won't be pixels.
I do feel it.
It's very big, so.
Oh, this map will probably... I'm more worried about the combat map. That was fine. Weirdly.
Nice.
Just the splash screen is the only one having the issue.
Okay. So, let's see here. We now find Grunker running through the streets of Doonhollow, as it's I said that. You see a number of people kind of gingerly emerging from their homes to witness the chaos amidst the shards of broken glass, vandalized and burning homes, which are quickly being put out by members of the community. Over to screen there. There we go. You run by a few startled individuals who find it incredibly strange. A single goblin is running through the streets carrying so much stuff on his back. Is he a looter, a courier? They have no idea. Most of them just kind of startled screams, kind of jumping out of the way as you just bound your way freight train. Oh, I fucking spilt some of my fucking dinner. As you kind of freight train your way through the back alleys and across the streets over carts and patches of smouldering rubble. Just continue bounding through the streets, Grunker.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Sorry.
popping a bit.
As Grunka is running out to
Grunky, your mic is popping a lot. It's getting very distracting.
Oh, is it better now?
I think everybody's mic's popping a little bit. As Grunka is running out, like as he's going, Styron's just going to over the earring say, Grunka, can you give your earring to the guards or whoever's in charge out there, just so we can make sure we coordinate our attacks?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
What guard?
The
Alright,
one in
so-
charge.
You do see a number of guards kind of just running past the clanks of metal armor, kind of these sort of organized formations. It seems they are grouping up for a final push on the king's the Hall of Kings.
Right, but they would be like over here, right? Before the King's Promenade, or off or on the King's Promenade.
Most of them from what Balthazar saw were gathering at the front of the door. Apologise on this.
Past the King's Promenade.
They're past the King's Promenade at the door there. While from what you gathered, the deep dwarves were held up in here,
Right.
and the rest of the mountain guard are held up here,
Right.
or rather, the kind of
That little space there. Okay. Should I do it now or after King? Hello.
I'm sorry.
Also, Gabu is popping.
Yeah, you're popping real bad.
yeah.
Like everybody's popping for me.
It's just Gabu for me.
It's just Gab.
Anybody?
It doesn't sound
Maybe
like
he's just
a
popping when
connection.
he's not talking.
He's popping when he's not talking. It's not
Yeah,
a
okay.
connectivity issue. It sounds like
popping.
no.
It's like a hardware issue.
Yeah. It sounded like he had like a bad connection to your cable. But now it's better.
Okay. Didn't do
Great.
it. Okay. But yeah, Grug's gonna ask, should I before or after king?
Give it to the king.
The heir king.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let me
keep on running.
Let me check. That doesn't require attunement, does it?
I don't think so, no.
No, I think no. We won't talk about that, but then we decide.
Yeah, you lowered kind of the power of it, so it wouldn't require it.
Yeah, lower the range.
Okay,
It also
yeah.
makes it interceptable if somebody gets hold of a ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Just reminding myself. Okay, so it's about an hour's trek back. Kind of, probably at your pace, kind of double dashing all the way. Probably take half the time actually. So about half an hour back. You eventually manage to get to the Hunter's Keep. Your way, you kind of burst through the doors with this kind of bulging kind of sack of armor on your back. It's like like a like that one goblin from the labyrinth, you know, massive like piled stuff on her back. It's a very similar aesthetic.
Yeah.
Kind of burst through the door. You see the king is there currently, kind of conversing with a couple of his kind of personal mounted guard escorts. So he sees you kind of burst through with this giant sack of armor on your back, and he seems to notice the large kind of warhammer kind of poking out at the top. Is that my armor?
Yeah. We're just gonna take all the armor, just dump it on the floor, all the weapons, everything that was in the chamber.
Okay. He kind of makes his way over with his kind of mounted guard escorts at his side. There's a long kind of almost like a fond look of nostalgia as he reaches down, picks up the large kind of warhammer in one hand, and he looks over it, says, "It's been a long time, my beauty." Looks over it for a brief moment, and takes it in both hands, and he concentrates for a long while. You see the end of the hammer kind of light up with this ball of divine fire, almost.
Oh. Neat.
It's been years since I've had this in my hands. Thank you.
No. Well, it's not dusty anymore.
Indeed. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's time I get changed.
Yeah. See ya. Oh. For Grunker runs off, he gives him the earring.
Oh, what's this?
It's you talk in it, and you can read the others.
Huh. It'd be useful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And runs off.
He nods and sees you off. Eventually, about another hour, half hour, kind of running back towards the kind of now open kind of secret hidden doorway. You continue up the tunnel, up the ladder, towards the darkened inner chambers of the king. The rest of you meet up there.
Ray.
Okay, so all of you met up there.
We're in that weird vault.
From what I recall from last session, you were all kind of holstered up in the king's chambers.
Okay.
It's pitch dark, but fortunately, I think pretty much all of you have some form of dark vision.
Yeah.
I think everybody does. Yeah.
Let's read his diary.
I was just about to say that I don't have dark vision, but I.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if I have it as a fucking half-breed, you sure as hell.
Yeah, you've got dark vision as an orc.
Yeah.
So I guess we just wait for Grungy to come back and then
Okay.
remove.
You all hear from down the hall. And then Grunker
Terror of
hops
large
up.
feet.
Then Grunker hops up from the ladder, meets you all in the chamber, thoroughly out of breath.
Okay.
Seeing him without an ear, Siren's gonna be like, just kind of pat on my shoulder. Good job, okay. You did well.
Your legs are wobbly. Your breaths are ragged. Corey as a job probably might not be one of your best interests right now.
Damn it, I'm picturing the Wheeze meme.
Right.
Well,
You
Grunker's
sell
dying.
that one.
Yeah. Well, Grunker's dying. Siren's
I'll go
going
back and give him
to.
some water.
Yeah, well, Grunk is dying. Siren is going to, over the earring, just kind of do a broad call out. King, are you there? Have the earring on.
No response.
Okay, we'll just wait.
Probably, most likely out of range.
I mean, yeah, he
You
hasn't,
know, maybe.
hasn't
Okay,
come
this-
there yet.
This is to scale, and if... What was the range?
The yellow.
Alright, he's gonna get free.
Aren't they like in here, trying to get here though? Is that what Jenner said?
The let's see, the captain's forces, the Iron Guard, are here. The Deep Dwarves are here, and the Mountain Guard are held up here.
The Mountain Guard are on our side.
The Mountain Guard are the Mountain Guard and the Iron Guard are allied forces effectively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of them's like the elite.
The Mountain
Yeah,
Guard
I
are,
that
forget
would be
which
the
one
Mountain
though.
Guard.
the Mountain Guard are the King's elite.
Okay.
Okay.
They're the King's
one that
personal
got
guard.
irked. Is it DD
Wait,
Dwarf
this way.
Dwarf people?
Deep doors.
Okay.
Deep
Deeds.
dwarves.
Justice.
All right.
Yeah.
So wait, if we're on the outside of the room, it's just a bunch of allies. Then yeah, let's just go the fuck out. Like,
Because we can go... Yeah, if they've kind of got them locked in here, we can get here, and then we'll be in range.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So probably have to find your way through the get off the hang on. Kat's trying to get up and she's pushing her paw against the power switch.
Oof.
Anyway, do you head out as you head out of the king's chambers? It's pitch dark. There's a long hall, and looks like some sort of antechamber. You gather. You've not been in the king's palace before. You might need to navigate, as it were.
I feel like we're going to leave back.
So, how do you plan on getting to the throne room from the king's chambers?
I assume there's a door. Otherwise, how else would the king get in?
It looks like there's a big hallway. But are there mountain guard in the room?
From what you were told, the mountain guard are held up in here. You are currently, most likely, Grunky, you would probably, yeah, you've got a good sense of direction. From what you can tell, you're probably somewhere around here. It's likely, this is the rest of the fortress is likely embedded within the rock.
Oh, so we're not in this room. We
You're
have
not-
no way to get through 12.
You are not currently you are not currently in the throne room. No, you're probably
Okay.
somewhere else in the fortress.
So
And
where
now
is that
we're playing the
next
maze.
immediate- So,
No, that's it. Just we're basically in a maze of rooms, and we don't know.
Yeah.
I get there.
Okay.
You've never been in the king's fortress before.
Okay, so I thought that the Dwarger Guard were in this room.
Nope,
And
they are
They
here.
were in there. So they managed to. So they're actually managed to get themselves locked in, like the worst defensible position instead of the best, where they have two forces on either side of them.
This is
Okay.
good for us.
I mean, yeah, like I thought we were gonna have to kind of root them out from the actual like heavily guarded throne room, but okay, that makes things a little easier.
The-
So we
Yeah, just let you know, the Iron Guard, the captain's forces are there. Deep Dwarves are locked up in here, trying to get their way through this gate, and the Mountain Guard are here.
Gabbo, why pop up? Oh, sorry, I was putting my mic back up.
all right.
So where is the next? Where can we emerge from? Where we are now?
You don't know. You've not been in the king's palace before. But
Well, Is there a door?
there is a door out into what looks like a hallway that leads down into an antechamber from the let's see, the king's chambers. Yeah, there we go.
So I assume we just follow the first doors we see until we see something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll say this would be more of a. One of you make an investigation check. Whoever's leading this.
Gee, I wonder who's going to do it. Maybe the pit without tell.
The ducky.
I'm not the one with the highest intelligence. You are. However, I am proficient in investigation.
All right.
I thought you crafted and spelled off of it.
I do, but you try and fucking do a mad build from a fucking solo class like I have.
Yeah, Ducky had to mix with Dex as well for range shooting, I think.
Dex and
0.5 was
Confury.
not missed.
So, hey. Anyway, do I roll investigation?
Roll investigation as you are as you're leading this this expedition to find your way towards the throne room in a palace you've never been in before.
Don't fucking fail me now.
Hey,
14. Not bad. So you head out into what looks like a very long, very tall hallway. You see immaculate dwarven architecture as you make your way down. You can see portraits on the wall of various, presumably dwarven lords and ladies. Each of them with kind of immaculate, this sort of immaculately carved armor. And many of these figures appear to be wearing same plate of armor that you gathered from the king's armory. It seems that it may have been given down through
Traditional thing.
handed down through generations, as it were. Eventually, you make your way to the main atrium, where you can see it's like it's brilliant kind of orange glowing stained glass windows, and whereas normally you'd see exterior of gardens and such from like an outdoor palace, this palace is underground, so you just see this bright orange glow from the outside.
Surrounded by love.
You could say that, yes. Although it seems this is it's very well made architecture, built to resist any accidents.
So it's ocean proof. Gotcha.
You continue following what look to be larger and larger doorways. Some have been barred shut with kind of these large stone braces that seem to be keeping things out. They seem to have been preparing themselves just in case anything terrible happens during this attack. Grunker, I would like you to go ahead and make an athletics check to see if you can lift one of these massive stone beams.
Athletics.
Does Grunkin still have one level of exhaustion?
Yeah.
Can I help?
If you like.
I will help the poor-eyed Grunky.
Okay.
Yay, straight rolls.
These massive stone beams, you kind of touch them. You see, Grunker, you've probably seen this sort of material before in your days underground. This is more like granite than kind of any regular stone. It seems very ornately carved, very kind of smooth, almost marble-like. But you ignore that and you kind of lift with vellum, lifting it out of the kind of slot across the front, across the door here. After a moment, you kind of grind it across the length of the doorway, and it kind of slams down to the floor. And you push open the doors, and you see before you the throne room is just as impressive as when you last entered it during your meeting with the king. Bring you over to that image there.
I was about to say, I'm sure it looks impressive.
It's 200 foot long, 120 feet wide, 150 foot tall, cathedral-like sanctum of polished marble and stone. The crystalline throne at its northern end emits this brilliant luminescence, and the glow of orange emits from beneath the two kind of long pits that span the hall's length.
We know that the dwarves are in this room, right?
Yes, and as you enter the throne room, you see a line of approximately 20 to 30 gold-plated mountain guard kind of spanning across the width of the hall, some distance from the entryway, at the other end of the hall from where you come in. And a front line of about 10 to 15 mountain guard kind of brace themselves against the massive emerald door.
Okay, perfect. I don't want them to be caught off guard. So what I would like to do is, as we sort of breach, you could say, I would like to hold up my bit of forearm that has the little hunter's keep glowing tattoo, so they immediately see a glowing blue light of that sigil.
All right. As you kind of are you making your way up to the mountain guard to do this, or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
figured we would.
All right. So you make your way up to the line. This what looks like a shield wall being rapidly formed here. You can see a very large, bulky-looking mountain guard in no helmet, but massive kind of massive shield, kind of spiked pauldrons. This is a familiar figure. This appears to be what you presume to be General Thargrin that was being talked about. And as you walk up to him, he kind of this deep, commanding voice barks orders in Dwarvish from the back lines, and he says, hang on.
All good?
Let's use your fancy feature.
There we go.
Alright, it's one of the few languages I don't actually.
You hear him say, Dagar! And the mountain guards kind of brace their shields against the door with this ringing and clattering of steel, and there's a muffled guttural growl, followed by a massive crash like thunder that rings throughout the chamber, as the doors seem to buckle in an inch towards the chamber, cracking the massive kind of granite bar that lays across it, and the front line kind of bracing themselves against the door, push back with their shields to the mighty clatter of steel and metal. The bar holds for now. The door remains shut.
Perfect. Before I go up and talk to him, because that's what Althazar would naturally do, does anybody else want to do anything in the situation?
Enter the room so we're not in a cramped corridor, but besides that, gently giving the very militaristic dwarves a little bit.
Yeah, we're already approaching them, from my understanding.
Yeah, we're quite literally walking into a possible danger zone if they don't recognize us or think we're literally just fucking spies.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is why Althazar is holding up the Hunter Keep tattoo that's glowing blue on his arm.
So you,
yeah,
as
two
you,
things. Firstly, not going to have the weapon drawn for obvious
Alright.
reasons. And secondly,
Good idea.
keeping a distance behind Balthazar.
all right. You make your way behind General Thargrin, and immediately this sort of this heightened militaristic perception. He immediately spins around, and you see a large kind of pike kind of drawn before you, and then he sees the Hunter's Keep tattoo, and he immediately kind of relaxes for a moment. Who are you?
We are the Black Hand. The king sends his regard, and us. We come with tactical information.
Very well. Glad to see some reinforcements at least. This door will not hold.
And it won't have to. On the other side, the king has marshaled all of the Iron Guard. And...
Did you just say Matt Mercer to all the Iron Guards?
Marshaled.
Okay. Sorry.
That'd be hilarious, though. The king has marshaled all of the Iron Guard, and we are here.
we have a daring maneuver to kill the enemy and... perhaps save your lives. You see,
As he's gonna flick his earring.
the king has a way to communicate with us now. He's going to tell us when his men are ready. We are going to throw open the doors, and we are going to charge them, rather than let them charge us. And then, at the same time from the rear, the king will lead his men in a terrible crash. All we have to do is stay on our feet. But oops, as he kinda...
You see kind of sweat pouring down his brow, kind of new gash over one eye from where you previously saw him. He still stands strong. I hope that soon. That door is not going to hold much longer. As he says that, he kind of shouts over to his men, in trade tongue this time. I need more men in that door! Hold off that elder worm until the captain's forces break through to behind them!
Stallion, can you steal men?
Kind of looks to Salyun.
It's muted.
You're muted, Duncan.
I can still mend, but... And it's just sort of gestures to the door and everything else. Size is a matter.
Ah, yes.
Gashes,
What's your thoughts?
mine breaks, I can do large doors and cracked pillars. No.
I
I
don't
was hoping it would be contextual damage.
I don't know if that's going to last, with especially not against the beast that lies beyond it.
It could buy us a few seconds at the most. But even then, we're
Aye, when that door goes, all 7 hells will break loose within this chamber.
Didn't we expect that?
The captain's men have done what they could. Their lines are staggered, but that warlord, the Deep Dwarves, he is their rallying standard.
Then we kill him.
Aye, if we can take him out, then that might disorganise or demoralise them enough that we can push them back. But the only
Push them back into the army behind them with the king. And then he will kill them. It's perfect.
The only trouble is their forces swarm to and defend them like hornets to their nest, making it difficult for us to target him amongst the chaos.
That's okay. I happen to know someone who has excellent skills at range and could put a bullet in the spine of a dragon flying away several hundred feet off the ground. It's very impressive. So,
Sarah's just looking at Balthazar like, really?
well, I can either be bitter or I can use you as a product, so... Sorry.
I know. Who would like to have stabbed him in the back of his skull?
There's another boom slam against the door.
Maybe we could talk about some
I
other
think that's our cue to cut this short.
Agree.
Okay. Defensive formations.
I've got
Let's
an
get the
idea.
marshals there and you there.
I have an
I
idea.
need an elevated position to gain maximum benefit of my ranged abilities.
So you
And
kind
it
of
seems like
as you
the
raised.
guard was saying something.
he says I think I've got an idea. If we can lure out the warlord from his ranks, you might be what we need to push the tide.
Valve, I have an idea I'm probably gonna regret.
I cannot wait to hear Simon's opinion on this. Go on.
How do you think the dickbag who wants to be king would react to seeing you in sort of gestures to the armor that sitting on the throne?
Star just
Oh,
Star just looks between them and just looks to Vellum.
Balthazar is already walking towards it.
Yeah, I don't like it, but it would definitely get his attention. You can't deny.
General Thalgrim is immediately kind of concerned and perplexed, and then that furrowed brow kind of turns into then that furrowed brow.
Vellum, I'm not saying you've just said a brilliant or dumb idea. You just fed, quite literally, oil to a bonfire in terms of his ego.
Yeah, but I'd rather him have a fucking ego
no,
for a few
wait,
weeks than us
wait.
being dead.
That might not be a bad idea. That armor is provocative, to put it lightly.
We know.
Perhaps.
he already tried to kill me in the arena for wearing it. I taunted him. His father's skull is a codpiece, I said. Oh man, he hates me.
And what better place to put you?
As he plops down into the throne.
Obviously,
as you
don't
kind
go sitting
of
on your ass all the time, Valve. Once you got his attention,
as you
we
sit
close the
down
gap.
onto the crystalline throne, there is an eminent warmth to it almost. As if it was always
King's ass.
not,
Yeah, I was like,
not,
is there
not
cheek
quite.
engravings?
He has heated seats.
Not quite, but it almost seems. You can see as you sit down, this almost ethereal energy which seems to drift off of the massive crystalline formation.
But yeah, once you get his attention, Valve, close the gap. If do us more harm than good if you sat there.
You can definitely lure him over that.
I'm gonna plomp down the big fucking tower shield that Vellum made me right in front of me. And then I'm gonna point to Vellum and I'm gonna gesture him over with a finger.
Vellum will sigh slightly and make his way over.
I do not want to die today. So I'm going to trust you with something very important. Again. Please. I don't say that often, but please.
Vellum's demeanor
Consider
does
the
shift.
grander scale.
Vellum's demeanor
I'm
does
gonna
shift.
hold out the Dragon Slayer.
Sorry, is my mic coming in laggy?
A little, yeah.
Must be the streaming, goddamn. Fucking Discord getting shit together. Right. Anyway. Vellum's demeanor does shift. At first it was like a sort of, what now? Sort of expecting an arrogant boast from him or something, but the second it's the more serious tone and taken, he does shift more amiable body language. Body language. Right, yeah. This definitely seems like one of those times, and I'll do what I can.
Good. And he holds out the Dragon Slayer.
I cannot use this on your shield.
Right.
And I would rather not be hit and die. That thing can bite me and eat me. Our plan means nothing. I need you to use this and kill him. You can't do the fancy dragon work without attunement, but it's still a damn fine blade.
He will take it, slightly hesitantly, but then the second it's in his hands, he starts appraising it, for lack of a better term. His hands hold it with equal heft to the side, his eyes start scanning it with very keen sight.
Study
Bad
it when you
habits.
can. I
Normally,
expect one from you one day.
I wouldn't put my faith in something so different than what I that's not mine, but you're not wrong. This is definitely quality work. Though, if this does bite me in the arse, Bath, you're the one paying for it.
I would have lost my Beth Smith, my favorite sword, and likely my life. I anticipated the cost.
Well, don't think I'll die so easy. If you've seen anything, I'm a tough bastard to get rid of.
Good. You put that way.
At that, I was gonna kind of walk up. I mean, she was kind of standing close by the entire time, but.
Oh, okay.
And she's gonna look at Balthazar, who's sitting on the throne, and just kind of stare at him for a second, just like eyes slightly narrow, like a small smile on her lips, and then she reaches into her bag and pulls out the crown, and she's gonna walk up to Balthazar, and just kind of like
Oh no.
say in like subtle demonic, think of it as a trial run, and she's going to set the crown on top of Balthazar's head.
Oh no. It's at that point that General Farngoon kind of makes his way up and just looks at you, Balthazar, kind of blinks for a moment. There's this peculiar look before he kind of shakes his head and just continues on his train of thought. Right. I have an idea. We can form a shield wall, and he kind of points around towards the large kind of pillars that kind of line the wall. We can use the room's architecture to our advantage. Take up defensive positions where their numbers will count for nothing. If you can lure him, get his attention focused, We might be able to separate him behind the wall for you to deal with them, while my men focus their attention keeping out the rabble.
Draw
I
him in
think
with
that
the
would be a
lure of
great
the
plan.
armor. Draw him in with the lure of the armor, so he will bum rush towards Balthazar. Cut him off. Deal with the men without their leader.
It'll be easier on us, and you'll have your prey. And he kind of gestures towards the hunters keep marks on some of you.
Also, don't worry, for as big as Balthazar's ego is, I do not think he would dare challenge the king for his throne right now.
Oh no.
I expect not.
Just
And
don't get used to it.
He gives you the kind of briefest but dirtiest eye possible, Balthazar. But then nods to all of you.
If you hate me, imagine how he feels.
Imagine how he would feel once he actually knows that he did actually kill a resurrected acolyte.
Ah, yes.
As he ding ding taps his armor.
Sal's just pinching her brow. My father will both love and hate you right now.
Good.
Tactical advantage? Holy shit, it's dishonorable to do so.
General Thargrim.
Baron War.
Alright, yes, what were we saying?
Uh,
We're just having a banter.
the general kind of turns his attention kind of briefly back towards his men, bracing against the door. And then there's another roar and a thunderous slam against the door, causing the stone beam to break across it to kind of crack down the middle, though it still holds. A couple of mounted guard and are knocked off their feet from the door, kind of slamming into them, but quickly get back up and rejoin their shield brothers. And it's at that point the general kind of rushes back off to the line.
Remember enough, close the gap. And then Belm's gonna go move in position.
How long is this gap?
What?
A
Between...
battle map might be nice if you happen to have one.
I'll get to that, don't worry.
How long would the gap be between where I am sitting and the actual door?
The line? That would be... give you exact measurements. From you between the line is about... it's a long room, a long kind of cathedral-like hall. It's about 135 feet.
Okay. I will look to our two ranged, Siren and Salyun. Suggest that
Perhaps the two of you should be behind these pillars by my side. Elevation and cover is never a thing.
Never is. But Sal just looks to Siren. Think you can stay hidden for long enough? Just sort of a Stasi remark. Also, Avon is away,
yeah, he stepped away.
regardless. Sal will take stand behind the pillars to stay.
Alright.
Balthazar is going to, in front of the throne. This might not be the wisest idea, but he's going to start doing something. He's going to pull a little piece of chalk. It's temporary. Hey, oh, yeah, a nice purple chalk. He's going to start drawing a circle.
Fucking purple chalk. Are you really that narcissistic?
Look at where he is and what he's doing. How can you ask that question?
What do you think I am?
Fucking
Who the fuck do you think I
Be grateful it's not aligned with the gold.
Don't tell me I also have that.
It's got flexible in it.
I mean, if I wanted to, I'd take a gold coin and start scratching it on the floor.
Anyway, what are you drawing on the thing?
I'm pretty sure I've linked this image before. But, let me get that for you. he is drawing what appears to be a slight bastardized version of this. As I copy it into...
Make sure the recording gets a view of that as well. So you do post it.
I'll post it
Oh.
also in the...
The
Oh,
fucking
good.
balls. The balls.
I mean, I feel like even the king is gonna have a word with you after this.
I really
Oh,
hope
no.
this just goes away at some point during all this.
Oh, he's going to. He's gonna scuff it out. It's just chalk.
It's just chalk. It's the suspiciously magical assemblage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be about 10 minutes.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Magic there. Nice.
Are you gonna do that for 10 minutes?
It takes me 10 minutes to do this as I link you a spell.
Alright, give me a second. Well, 10 minutes. Thoom! This time, the beam completely cracks and shatters. The granite crumbling in the center.
Oh, shit.
There is probably not enough time for a whole 10-minute casting of a spell.
Well, shit.
As this seems to be dire stakes here. However,
Balthazar, cast faster.
it's a nice thought. It'd be a cool moment. I'll let you know that.
It'll be a cool
would
moment.
have.
I'm not gonna let it happen.
I
That
know.
would have been cool.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, yeah, but
sorry.
it's still time. There's a worm pushing down an already fractured
Yeah,
door.
it's
to be
not.
fair.
It's not me. You know, I don't want this to happen. It's just
No,
you know,
no. It's just time. That's fair.
Yeah.
In which case,
Oh, did you try to summon? No.
yeah. If I don't have enough time to do that, then I'm just gonna look to Vellum and say,
Well, I can't close the distance now.
and I'm just gonna take my water skin. I'm gonna start wiping away the chalk. And just
Okay.
Well, you can always use your legs.
As soon as you kind of start drawing the chalk, you see the beam kind of on the door hangs loose on either side of it, but seems like it absorbed most of the impacts. The mounted guard kind of holding the door, and you hear the general kind of shout out, "This door won't hold!" And it's at that point you gather probably not enough time for this to do this, and you kind of stop halfway through the chalk.
Shame.
Is there anything else you want to do? Anyone
So
wants
you
to
guys
do?
want to try and do to prepare?
I will take the dodge action.
All right.
I
Just
don't
for the
have
option.
I don't have a gun to cock, so
Yeah.
you know.
Probably not enough time for any like 10-minute kind of rituals. this is
I'll just fucking. I'll keep my gun loaded and ready to just fucking whip around and do a fucking 360 no scope. I don't know.
Be very careful with that. He might let you do it.
I'm going to basically like hold a spell,
okay.
basically hold mirror image until like the door busts down, and then just like finish casting it.
All right then.
Yeah, chatting seems about fine.
Yeah, the dodge action seems good.
Yeah. Don't know what sort of shit they've got behind that door. They
Well,
got
far enough. There's multiple pounds of flesh between them and me.
All right.
Or Jack.
General Thargrim. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. So I was gonna make a joke, but time to fight.
Okay. General Thargrim kind of bellows orders to his men in trade tongue. Fall back! Form ranks! Immediately, the mounted guard kind of manning the doors leave their posts with both defensive lines falling back down the steps from the door and further into the chamber, approximately 90 feet from the door. They themselves kind of line up between pillars and on the bridge, fortifying their shield line with the impassable architectural features. Shield wall! The clanging and clattering of steel rings throughout the throne room, as one by one the golden shields fall into line in this kind of rapid succession, like scales of a great golden dragon. Golden pikes come down to form a line of razor-sharp points. General Fargrim says, kind of shouts out, "Brothers, this day we protect the seat of Dune himself. Let none pass." And with another one of the dwarves down the line calls out, "And with these shields will ring." They all
So fucking huck.
they all kind of
300. Where's Leonidas?
they all bash their pikes once against their shields. There's a brief moment of pause and silence that falls over the throne room. The only sound are the many muffled war cries that echo from beyond the door. Anything you all wish to say to each other before this?
Sal takes a quick look to Balthazar and then Siren. I'm not gonna kill Steel this time.
I doubt that. Oh, and if any of you die, try to make sure your bond stays intact.
Siren, if you fucking release me as one of your undead, my soul will haunt you.
It's fine, I can deal with that.
The quiet is broken by a loud guttural roar. And in a cloud of dust, the doors crash open, falling to the wayside. A chorus of bloodlust fills the chamber, a sea of war cries. As rushing through the cloud of dust is a wave of heavily armoured deep dwarves, anywhere between 40 to 50. Larger figures also follow suit. 5 enormous worms, complete with their own riders. Sorry, three enormous worms rather, slithering their kind of blubbery armoured forms into the hall. One flings a large hunk of debris into the mounted guard's ranks, but narrowly misses, taking a chunk out of the pillar instead. And then, finally, emerging from the obscuring cloud is the dominant form of a much larger worm, mandibles clacking hungrily, surveying the chaos. And riding atop is a familiar figure, clad in dark iron plate, carrying a massive maul and a series of viciously spiked javelins upon his back, as well as a long red cape.
Siren is, 1, gonna finish casting her spell. And 2, this is an awesome fucking room. God, that's long. Alright.
It's also pixely. It looks like you still see where everyone is.
Dynamic gliding!
Oh, there it is. It's loaded. I was worried for a second.
2 worms.
I would like
Worms.
all of you to roll initiative, please.
I would love to. And hopefully don't die.
Alright, there's a fuck ton of...
Hey.
Initiative, but disadvantage because I have 11 of social.
Yes. Check.
Yep. Initiative is an ability check.
Holding the
It
par.
is. It's Dex. It's a Dex ability check.
Alright, yeah. Gotcha.
It's yeah, and also like another. I mean, just a quick aside, an interesting thing. Bard's Jack of all trades actually applies to initiative because of that fact.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Sorry, give me a second here.
Man, even with disadvantage, Gunga rolls a 20 on his initiative.
Well, it's a normal.
Oh wait, no, that's athletics. Okay, sorry.
I have normal roll, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, because you're barbarian.
Yeah. I
Barbarian.
mean, I still
That's some
rolled
good shit.
I still rolled 21, so.
that's still absurdly high.
It's ready.
Okay then.
Real quick, just doing that. So it uses up the spell slot. So I did cast that.
Oh, good. That's definitely not floating. Oh, wonderful.
I
This
have
will
one
be a reactionary
feeling for
battle.
I have one feeling for this entire session, and that is the dice gods are gonna be like, "Lol, watch this, not one." There. Well,
For him. For him. Let's see if that's everyone. Yep. Okay. Alright then. So, Grunker, what you doing?
Well, it's a bit over there.
Here I go smashing.
Wow, an elder. Nice. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna like run over there. And I'm gonna rage.
Rage, alright.
Just in case.
I'm gonna frame this perfectly so there's just a fuck ton of people in the same show.
I'm actually on a frenzy rage. Fuck it.
Might be a good idea, yeah. You're staring down a whole battalion.
Well, I'm done.
Okay then. You just hit done when you're done.
Wait. We can't see the.
Yeah, I don't think it popped up this time.
Right, yeah, fucking it. But then API is fucking broken. Hang on. Hang on. Let me fix that.
Big rip.
Big rip. Yeah, that's a lot of errors.
That's fine, we can do a flash.
Starting. Okay, there we go. And now I shall start combat up. And get rid of
there it
that
is.
one. There we go.
It's time for the gigantic fucking rock.
Okay. So the Elder Rockworm, seeing this, is going to over here with Warlord on its back. You watch as the massive creature just as he can go through allied spaces at like half movement. He's going to make his way over here, and he's going to. You watch him just lay siege to the central kind of front shield wall of the Deep Dwarfs here. You can see one hit kind of scatters a couple to the side, knocking them off their feet. You can see the wall are kind of barking orders towards the other small battalions on either side of the room. Because I mean, it's going to be too many tokens here to roll for, so it'll be more of a narrative thing. Really, that's that one's turn. So Yun, what are you doing?
Sao, after sort of realizing that the steps she's on would be ideal to lay on, will move up here and go prone to negate the disadvantage she would get from the long range of her gun.
That-
Thanks to the magic hoo-ha, she has the ornate brass rifle stand.
Mm-hmm. And you can finally use it in such a huge room like this.
Don't you have sharpshooter?
No, I don't have sharpshooter.
Ah, sorry, carry.
I am gonna pick it though, once we eventually get to there.
Maybe I also want to say, sorry,
Go on.
the time. That it's half movement to move through ally spaces, but you can't end within.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Let me move things around here. We can still get about there, so you can still kind of hit around.
Yeah.
Yeah, this corner of the shield wall. There you go. So, who are you hitting, Saoyun?
I'm gonna try and get the attention of the big baddie.
Alright then.
So I will be firing at normal at, big fuckboy McGee over there. Alright. Please hit.
15 completely misses.
Eh.
The warlord kind of commands his worm to kind of lunge down towards the shield wall just as you fire, and it narrowly misses his head.
You still take the fucking thunder damage, half of it.
Yep.
Thanks to devastating blast.
So,
Thank you, and for reminding me that I have that.
The sheer proximity of the blast near his head. There's this kind of arcing static that courses through his armor. And he locks up for a brief moment and looks over towards you.
Sao just raises a hand and waves.
Alright, is that your turn?
That is indeed eternal.
Alright. Vellum, what you doing?
well, guess I'll die.
Sure.
He's gonna look back briefly before moving up to a more advantageous position, and still uncertain of just what the hell they've got to deal with, and a bit paranoid of sneaky fucks, is going to dodge.
Okay.
That will be me.
The Deep Dwarf's turn. Let's try out that mass combat.
Because I'm gonna have to zoom in. Oh boy.
Let's see here. I'm going to make these public rolls actually, so you can see. Where's my
Okay.
DM prep? Here it is. Okay. There we go. And roll. Deep Dwarves.
Bro.
Attack 16. Alright. Let's see how the Mountain Guard fare when it comes to their turn. Deep Dwarf Force is going to slam into the front of the shield wall. If you are gouged and impaled by the forward-facing pikes, there's a flurry of swords, axes, and hammers. It seems as though they're kind of ineffective against the shield wall, and the Deep Dwarves are less trained and less well-equipped. However, they have the numbers and power advantage. Some of the worms kind of barrel through. Many of their comrades kind of slither up to the front lines. Mountain Guard's turn. Let's see how they fare. 12. Alright. So, if I recall, you got dealt. Deep Dwarves gain 1 morale point. the Mountain Guard -1 to their health. Okay. The Mountain Guard kind of hold their line somewhat effectively against the onslaught, kind of pushing back against the horde of their kind of ashen-skinned brethren. The worm attacks are heavy, kind of dent their shields and send some defenders off their feet. Only for those kind of next to them, kind of fill the gaps in the shield wall. The worm attacks are answered with swift pikes to the underbellies. However, it looks as though the initial attacks seem to drop off a couple of their brethren. This guy dies. Alrighty, that's going to be. If I did that correctly, they got one. There you go. Okay, Siren, your turn. What you doing? You are muted, by the way.
That's cool. Siren is going to use a. So she's first going to get the movement in because we'll be closer. And I'm going to check its range on a couple things. Yeah. All right. Boop. And at that, as a action, she is going to say via the earrings. They have reached the end of the throne room. Now is the time to assault from behind. Just, to whomever might be nearby.
Alright.
That's her turn? Yeah, that's her turn.
Okay. Why did the Mountain Guard have, who goes? That shouldn't be there. Mountain Guard have already gone.
Did you accidentally roll somebody else's initiative while having their hogs play?
I don't.
Is it that one thing where it was happening last time where it kept slipping in underneath the person that was going?
I don't know.
Because they just moved beneath the Dwarf Warlord. Like on the turn order, sorry.
Right, hang on. Pause that turn. Let me sort out the turn order here. 14. Okay, so that would go after Siren. Mountain Guard would go at the same time as the Deep Dwarves. Okay, there we go. Okay, that should be all sorted now. Okay, so it's the Warlord's turn. It's going to use a legendary action to command ally. He commands he's going to use a command ally on the worm he's riding. And with that, he kind of commands the worm once again to kind of strike the front lines of the Deep Dwarfs. Sorry, the front line of the Mountain Guard. I'll just have this like we'll just roll an attack here. Versus the Mountain Guard. 4, 11. Right, so the Mountain Guard gain 1 point of morale, while the Deep Dwarves have 1 point of morale removed. The attack is unsuccessful as the entire front line here brings up their shields in one formation across at General Thargrin's orders, and with that they quite easily deflect the enormous massive maw bearing down on them. And and the let's see. Deep doors and guard. I won't do any damage because this is on another player's turn, so to speak. Okay, that's gonna be his turn. Balthazar, what you doing?
No one is in range. I can't do anything till 120 feet. And I don't even feel like blasting an ally in the back. So I am going to start relaying tactical information to the king through the ear. Even if I don't get an answer, I'm just going to start plopping that info out.
Okay.
So they can best plan an attack as they intend.
All right.
You go into bravado and get them attention.
I mean, I certainly could, but there's no way for them to get to me regardless. They're too big.
Did always attempt it.
Sure I could. I don't know how he'd get to me, but yeah. All right. I'll leave that to somebody else then. Then said, I guess. What were you gonna say?
I just figured out a way how you basically insta-kill him.
Oh, I know. I know a few. Don't worry. Just keep that to yourself for now.
Alright.
I guess I'm gonna taunt him.
Sure. Go ahead.
Fuck it. I'll thaumaturge my voice.
All right.
Wearing the helmet of and the armor of Ashwhite and the crown of the king. I'm going to sit confidently on the throne with my shield in one hand, my longsword in the other, and I am going to declare that the Ashwhite clan is dead. The last ruling king has died twice, at least once by my hand.
Please do this in character. This would be awesome.
Alright. He wasn't given a name, just Warlord, was he? I remember something Ashbite was called out. Was he given a proper name? I forgot to write the shit down.
You heard the name of Faradol Ashbite. You're not sure if this refers to the Warlord or someone else.
Yeah, this just might be a fucking general. Still, if that is the case,
This
come on, kiss. Oh man, I was just about to open up with something. I'm like, probably shouldn't say that word. He'll shout out with an enhanced thaumaturgy voice.
Dwarves. The Ashbite clan is dead. The last king has died twice. Once by my hand, his bones scattered, his skull blessed, his armor forever warped to serve me. There is no hope for you left. You die where you stand, or you turn to us and live. Look before you,
As he gestures to himself with his phone.
and see what your loyalty has wrought.
So I'll do that.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Yeah, that fucking... I fucking want this to work.
With your...
I'm gonna fish for it. If not, that's totally fine.
Right.
Given the fact that I have said similar things before, I'm wearing the crown of the rightful king and the dead king's armor. Is there any way for me to get some sort of circumstantial bonus to this?
I mean...
If not, it's fine. You don't have to. I don't want to fish for that. I'm just asking.
I mean, it's a fair point, considering you are wearing the armor of King King Nogdul.
Nogdur Ashbite.
Yeah, Nogdur Ashbites, as well as Silver Crown itself.
It's a little credence to my saying.
Yeah. I'll give you advantage on this. Why not? It's
hard.
Yeah.
I don't normally like to fish, but
You're wearing the right stuff for it. I'll allow you this.
I'm glad I had it.
Yeah. Alright, 17. We will see if that works. Okay.
That's me. I can't hit a button, so.
I think you hit a button or.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bronca, what you doing?
Alright.
Alright, let's see here. Right, well, Rook is gonna walk so that he is like within 20 feet of the enemies. So like here.
Oh no. What, hang on. Something happened with the Ah shit.
What happened?
The fucking OBS crashed on me. Give me a second. I'm gonna stop recording here.